Hi everyone, it's Mari for the Vicki Boutin design team. I'm going to be creating a 12 by 12 project today using the gorgeous color study collection. And I am going to start off here by showing you the ephemera packs from the collection. There are two die cut packs. This first one I'm going to show you here has 50 pieces. Yes, 50. That is a ton of different die cuts. I'm just showing you here the packaging. These are such fantastic pieces. They are all different sizes, small, medium, and large. There are vellum pieces. There's some gold foiling. The second pack I'm showing you here has 40 pieces. So in total, if you had the two die cut packs, you would have 90 different die cuts. That is amazing. And of course, they're just in the beautiful color study palette, which is beautiful. Now I'm going to be working with a 3x3 photo, and I've printed it so that it looks like a Polaroid. It's got that white space at the bottom. I'm also going to be using this paper from the 8x6 paper pad. It's the one that has the black with the script on it and the pencils on the back. I want to just cut a strip of this and use it as an embellishment on my project today. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. So I cut a strip here, and I am going to mark the center. Now you'll notice that I left the tearaway part on the top that has the pencils. I just thought I might as well leave that. I like the detail. I've cut my strip now, and I'm going to cut 3 circles in this. I measured so that I knew where the center of the paper was so that I can get my circles measured and all equal distance apart. And now I'm just going to trim off a little bit of extra off the edge of the paper here so that my strip is all equal and balanced, and it's 1.75 by 8.5, I believe. I had popped the measurement up there for you. So now I have that circle piece ready as an embellishment piece over to the left side of my layout. Now I've got another 8x6 piece of paper from the paper pad that has the rainbow dots on it, and I also have a piece of craft. Now I am going to just stop this voiceover and measure that craft so you know what the measurement is. Okay, so this craft paper is 8.5 by 9, so it's not quite a complete square. And I have stitched all the way around the outside edge of that with some white thread, and I also stitched around that rainbow dot paper with some white thread. So both of those have that textural sewing on the edges, which just adds a nice little bit of detail. Now I'm working on the palette patterned paper. That's the paper that's going to be my base. It's got the paint stripes on it all the way down in an ombre effect. I love this paper. I think it's beautiful. It's a really great neutral for a background. It's perfect. And I put the ombre stripes so that the darkest is at the top, but you could totally flip this around. Now I am just using my T-square ruler here on my project just to make sure that I have that craft paper on my project straight here. And it's going to be a pretty linear project, so making sure that things like that are straight is very important. Now I'm going to just put this 8x6 paper across the other paper there, the craft paper. I'm leaving about an inch at the top there between so the top edge of the craft paper to the top edge of the rainbow dot paper is about an inch down. And you can see that it's about an inch and a half over towards the left from the edge of the craft. So that gives me lots of different areas around my 8x6 paper where I can add some embellishing and different bits and pieces to my project, and just planning out my design and thinking about having some space for clusters and title and all that kind of thing. So this is some craft foam. I'm going to use that to pop up the rainbow dot piece. I just wanted that to be a little bit dimensional on top of the craft paper. So I'm going to get that all adhered to the back of that rainbow dot paper and get that stuck down to the rest of my layout here to my project. And we'll see if I actually get that back in exactly the same spot. I'm going to say that I probably won't, but it'll be close. Just using a little bit of strong adhesive here to make sure that that craft foam has a good solid type of adhesive to stick to. Actually, I think I did get this pretty close to the same spot that it was in before I picked it up. So I'm just going to press down on that, make sure that that's adhered, and then move on to the next step. I, of course, also want to make sure with my T-square ruler that this is super straight. At this point, my desk is extremely messy. I do apologize for that. Now I am going to pop up this this circle strip, black strip. I'm going to pop that up on some foam adhesive here. So I'm getting those foam squares adhered to the back of the paper. And what I wanted to just say right now is you would not have to cut those circles out with your punch if you use this in the same way that I'm going to. When I started this, I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to use those circle cutaways. I knew that I wanted that element, the circle element, over to the left, but you'll see here I'm going to cover those up with circles, so I wouldn't have had to hole punch those or circle punch them, but you know, it really depends on how you're going to use them. So what I did was I took that same circle punch that I used to cut away from the black paper and I cut a white cardstock circle. Now I've taken the specialty paper from the collection, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's got the different pie charts, it's vellum, and it has gold accents. Absolutely love this paper. I have hole punched those using my 1-inch punch, or I should say circle punched them with my 1-inch punch, and now I'm popping them up on some foam adhesive onto those 1.5-inch white cardstock circles, and I will adhere those with some more foam adhesive into those circle holes. The nice thing about having done the measuring and that ahead of time is that I know that exactly where I place those circles, they're going to be all perfectly apart on that black strip. Now I'm just going to take some other things. I cut one of the tags from the cut apart sheet, and I actually took that to my sewing machine as well and added some machine stitching to the edge of that. And now you're just going to see I'm just fussing and trying to get an idea of placement here. I'm going to move things around and just check out where I want to place things on my project. I did do a couple of little banners out of some paper that actually was the tearaway from the 8x6 paper pad, and I just fishtailed the ends on those, and I'll use those for an embellishment up on the left corner. And I've taken that little, I love that little die cut circle paper clip type of a thing piece, and that says New Day on it. I love that, and I knew that I definitely wanted to use that. Sorry for that weird glare that's coming through my window right now onto my desk. I thought I kind of had it all covered up, but I can see that there is a bit of a weird glare there. This is one of the die cut pieces here from the collection. That's the large pie chart. I love that. And what I did was I actually took an Elizabeth Crafts die and I die cut a little arrow from some white cardstock. I will link to this die set in the description box down below so that you can check this out if you're interested in it, but those are really fun dies for sure. And I wanted to use a brad from my stash. These are a million years old from Stampin' Up, and I have never gotten rid of them because every once in a while I reach for a brad and I love having these in my stash. So I'm going to just take like a little mouse pad type of thing, little punchy tool. I'm going to poke a hole in the center of my pie chart die cut, also into the end of that arrow. I'm going to put this use that brad, put the brad through those two different pieces, and there we have like this little, it's almost like a little like Wheel of Fortune, but you're going to see how that's going to work in with the theme of my project here. So here you can just see again, I have taken a die cut piece. I'm going to use that as a little tag below my photo, and it's got the little dots on it, which coordinate nicely with the rainbow dot paper from the paper pad. And here again, just kind of placing things. Now what I did was I took some of that craft paper, I punched it with We Are Memory Keeper's border punch, and I'm going to use that as an embellishment to the left of the photo. I've also taken a couple of little phrase die cut pieces that I'm going to use in that area as well. This is again that pencil paper that I used for the circle embellishment strip there. I'm going to use the pencil side of it as a photo mat behind my photo. I'm also going to use some distressed craft paper as a mat for my photo. So I'm just distressing that. And here you can just see I'm going to add those layers together. I will add them together with a little bit of just repositionable adhesive and then a little bit of craft foam as well to give a little bit of pop and dimension in the photo mat layers. So there you can see I'm just adding a little bit of craft foam behind the pattern paper so that between the pattern paper and the craft there's a little bit of space, a little gap. And now I'm going to add all of that down to just a little bit of tissue paper that I have cut down to size a little bit larger than the craft, and that will be my photo mat area all finished. I am going to staple these two little banners together. I'll add some foam adhesive to the back, and that is going to just get added to, like I said, the top left corner of that circle strip section over to the left. And these two little die cut pieces, two little phrase die cut pieces from one of the ephemera packs. One says real life right now and the other one says around here. I'm going to staple those together, put some foam adhesive on the back and layer them over top of the border punch craft piece to the lower left of the photo mat area. And again, just adding these different layers and details is really what will make your layout sort of have that detail and interest that will just make it look a little bit more finished and, well, interesting. So I'm going to add that in, and what that's going to create is kind of like a weird little gap area between the photo and the element that I'm adding there. So I just go through the die cut pack. You can see I'm just pointing out that kind of like that little weird gap that's happening there. So that's easy because remember there's 90 die cut pieces in those die cut packs, plus there's hundreds of stickers, chipboard, you name it, in this collection that you could choose from. So I put a little bit of foam adhesive where the gold foiling is on this vellum piece. I love anything that's vellum. It's beautiful. It's a lovely texture to add in to your project. And this one says this here, which is kind of really perfect because the arrow is going just the right direction. It's exactly the right shape and it's pointing to the photo. So I love that. And it kind of goes along with those die cut phrases as well. Now this is one of the die cut pieces there that I had below the photo. I'm just going to fold it just gently in half at the bottom and cut it off at an angle to make a banner piece below the photo, and I will actually trim it down so that it's a little bit shorter. And any of those bits that you trim off, save them because you can use those for another little layering piece on another project. So that'll just go back in with my ephemera. That will definitely not get tossed out. And I love that this has lines on it. It just makes it look a little bit more detailed. And I'm going to add that with some foam adhesive below the photo, just adding, and it's a little bit shorter, you can see, than the black paper over to the left. Now here's that really fun pie chart, Wheel of Fortune piece. I'm going to add it over to the right of the photo, and I'm going to pop that up on some foam adhesive as well. And you can just see all of the different die cut pieces and such that are coming together and helping to create all of the different details on the project. So I love that pie chart. I love the pie charts in this whole collection. They're so pretty. And so I'm going to just get that stuck down. And now I'm just thinking about the title. So I know that I want one part of the title to be below this pie chart and I want one to be above. And I wanted this layout to be about choices. And I thought that that was just perfect, that that pie chart could show or detail the whole idea about choosing and how every day we have choices to make. And that makes all the difference in how our day goes. That's what the journaling is going to be about. And that's definitely going to be about what the title's about. So the puffy phrase stickers, always so good in Vicki's collections. I love them, and I love that pop of black. And you can just see how I've used the curve of the pie chart to help me place the top piece of the title, which are the thickers called Modern Art from Color Study. They are beautiful, and I love that they're in the rainbow colors again, and I'm spelled out the word choose at the top, and then amazing is going to go below the pie chart to help complete the title for the layout. So I've just taken that off of the acetate, going to place that down. It's good and sticky. I don't have to add any extra adhesive. I will, when the layout's all finished, add adhesive to the to the thickers, the modern art thickers there that spell out choose. I just find that's helpful to make sure that they don't fall off. Now, this is the sticker book that's part of Color Study. Amazing. And the chipboard. Amazing. Love it. Love, love, love. So many good pieces. And I love that Vicki's chipboard pieces always have lots of smaller pieces as well. Now I'm going to add 3 stars from this chipboard, these chipboard sheets. By the way, I will never have enough of these chipboard stars. They are so beautiful. I love them. I did end up moving that 1 star at the top a little bit over to the left, but you'll see that at the end. I wanted to tie some burlap twine into the tag. I just really liked it. This really coordinates nicely with the craft that's in the project. And I'm not the world's greatest bow tire, but I did decide to keep this in. So you're going to watch me struggle a tiny little bit and get that placed. Get the little tails of the bow tied so that they're short, and just make sure that it is just a little bit of complementary texture on the project. And I have a die cut piece here. It's a die cut tab from one of the ephemera packs. That one says today on it, and it's got a little splash of pink on it, which I loved. I stapled it together, and I'm going to add it on here with some foam adhesive to the top. I just like how that adds a really nice, another little bit of detail up to the top there. Now I have printed out my my journaling here in Microsoft Word. I measured the space ahead of time. I made my text box exactly the size that I measured. I printed it, I trimmed it out with my trimmer, and I popped it up on some foam adhesive, and it fits that little area on my Polaroid photo perfectly. So it's a really great spot for your journaling. I also like how the typed text fits in with the rest of the project. It just looks really nice and clean, and I love that. So I'm going to finish off here with some Heidi Swapp Color Shine splatters. I do have some pops of gold already on this project, and I just thought that it would be really complimentary to add a little bit of extra sparkle and shine with some of my favorite gold, which is the Color Shine. I love it. So I'm going to splatter it on. I've got my photo, and any areas that I don't want to splatter gold on covered up just with some postcard type pieces from my space. And so I've covered that up, and now I'm just going to go in and splatter with the Color Shine here. You see me adding that on, and I don't add really big gobs of it. They're just really fine little splatters. I really like how it looks on the craft. I really love how it looks on the black. Just really looks pretty. So I'm just going to finish that up, and I hope you can't hear the noise that's happening outside. Someone has their whippersnapper or something out there. So yeah, hopefully that's not disturbing my voiceover. Okay, so now I am all done. I'm going to show you some close-ups. I will tell you that I have linked up to all of the different products that I've used today in the description box below. Those are affiliate links, so if you click and use those links, I do get a small commission, and I do really appreciate that. That is at no extra cost to you. I am just showing you how everything coordinates together so nicely. I love how the title works together with that pie chart. I love all of the different circle elements and the colors. I think this is really pretty and really fun. I hope you enjoyed this today. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you check out Vicki's blog. Make sure you check out Vicki's community group on Facebook. She has an amazing community over on Facebook where she shares so much. And I know all of you who do share there, it's so fun to see what you make. Thanks so much, everyone. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.